All right, for quilt number 2, we are jelly rolling our way in, and this one's actually gonna be more of a wintry feel. This quilt is gonna go to our dear friends that just also had their first baby that got their board and batten quilt, and they are going to be getting a wintry themed Christmas quilt. So they live in Colorado, so I feel like this fabric line was a good fit. My mom had the jelly roll and the layer cake. She asked me which one I wanted, and since I had all my layer cake quilts filled out and ready to go already, the jelly roll was perfect for this. And so we are going to be doing the Studio Star quilt. And yes, oh yes, there are so many little bitty pieces in there. I can't help it. I love a good tiny piece quilt. And when I showed this one to my husband, he was like, that looks like it's hard. It was like, we'll see. It's just a lot of blocks. I think it says 35 blocks, so not too bad. It ends up being 62 by 82. Not bad. Oh, I didn't see it. It's got, let me show you. I didn't realize it had these little corners here, so that'll be pretty fun. That'll be a new little experience. And so let me stop teasing you and show you what fabric we're going to be working with for this quilt. So we are going to be working with the Scandinavian Winter from Clothworks Fabrics, and I really liked the colors in this. It's got some animals, so we've got moose and deer and elk and all sorts of those good things, and some snowflakes, some trees, all sorts of more subtle, pretty wintry Christmas. Well, maybe not so much Christmas, more wintry, but even just look at the top of that jelly roll, like how pretty is that? And so with my background, I decided to go to my good friend, Moto Grunge. It's actually the only quilt I think I'm using grunge in. And it's paper gray. It's the same one I used in the Muppet Swoon quilt, and I've used it in a couple other things because I love it so much. It's light, but not pure stark white. And so putting it with these jelly rolls, it seemed like it was just enough of a contrast without having it fade into oblivion. And then for the border, because I hadn't picked out, I knew I was generally doing this project earlier on in the year, and then with our clearance sale, I knew I needed some bordering, and so this hit the clearance table, and I was like, I'm gonna need that. That's gonna be the perfect border, because the other options were purple, and I can't remember what the other one was, but this kind of tealy aqua was a good one. And so I think I got like 3 yards, way more than I need, but there will be enough for the border and the binding on this one. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And then my mom said, if there's anything left over, I want it. And so whatever's left over from this will go to my mom so she can pair it with her layer cake and figure out what she's gonna do for that, or if I end up making something. So here is the happy trio. This one I was surprised seemed to have less fabric. But from what it looks like, for cutting, I'm going to cut my border here. This is going to be cut into strips, I'm sure. And then this, I was kind of looking at the cutting instructions. It said I needed to layer my strips and cut squares and rectangles and stuff. So I'm going to really read that again before I get cutting. So let me look at that book, read and figure out what I'm doing, and then we'll go from there. So let's get some Scandinavian winter cut, so then we can come back tomorrow and make those 35 blocks.